So with 151 being one of the best sets in Scarlet and Violet, I wanted to look through some of the pricing because recently I have been seeing that it's going absolutely crazy at the moment. We're seeing high prices on the Charizard special art, we're seeing it multiple increases on everything else, and we know that this set it's not necessarily a replica of the base set, but it's definitely holding that nostalgic value. We saw the exact same with Evolutions a few years ago now, and the prices on them are absolutely nuts in themselves. But when we're seeing something like a Charizard, and we've got a few examples here we're going for the top. This is just on the 18th of October, 203. We've obviously got a best offer there, 207, which has been accepted of an offer. And then you go down to 193 that has been accepted, 203, 180, 207. And yet, if we go like just a couple of pages down, we can see the pricing going at 120 for, what's that, a mint 9, a mint 8, which is fair enough, but 120 here, 122. And I thought, you know what, we'll have a look and see what the prices are truly like here. And you can see over the past year, we've kind of had it chilling around the $120 to $100. Like realistically, that was it. It never really broke down massively into the 90s. It kind of just stayed at 100 and then give or take. But over the course of the past couple of weeks, we have seen a massive climb of some people paying exceptional amounts for this card. And the one thing I don't get with that is, why all of a sudden? Like this set has been out for a whole year. Why as sudden are we going? Because not only is the fact that, especially the past couple of weeks, I can't see it being that people are obviously going crazy for it, because we've had it for the year. So the supply and demand has always been there, hand in hand. Now obviously as we're going through the year, we are waiting on a reprint for it. That is confirmed. So I would have assumed that the pricing would have either not necessarily dropped until the reprint is actually happening, but at least seen a kind of a steady plateau with it. Normally when we do get a reprint, what you find is a lot of the time it will mainly just stay as sealed products, but you will see some openings, so some of the cards will be going. So with that reprint now fully confirmed that we will get a whole new reprint, and there is slight rumors coming in 2025 that we're going to get other products that are gonna feature 151 within them as well. Don't know how true that one is. We just know we are getting a full reprint of the English set. We did get the Japanese reprint, so it was kind of obvious that the English set was going to get itself as well. But when you look at some of the products that you can go with, obviously you've got the case loads of these, but you can even see Charizard now listed at 136. We look at something like a Blastoise. Again, the same thing has happened. We're seeing a massive price rise in the past week or so that's just taken this card to that next level. Now, we'll say definitely don't be buying into this just in case, because we have been confirmed a reprint, so it makes no sense to go crazy on this. Realistically, we're looking for the lows. That's exactly what we want with this. We don't want to buy in on the hype because we know that it's likely to come down. When we're seeing the Charmander card coming in at $57 as a minimum, and in general, like the average price is now coming in at 44. Like we had the card down at the start at 28. Yes, around about 30 seemed to be again a very good purchase price if you could, because for the longest time it was coming in quite well. Like even if you go a bit further down, we saw it drop down to 23. Granted, that was within a specific week, and it does make a bounce back. But I think when I'm looking at a card like this, I'm thinking $30, 28, 27 pounds is kind of where my buy point would be. You kind of, all you have to do in this when you're looking at a card like this is go straight through the middle, and this just makes no sense to me. Why it's going up so crazy amounts since what we're looking at the lows of the 10th of September. Then within 2 weeks, it's practically gone up an extra, say $3-4, and then gone up an extra, say 10 within the next couple of weeks. It just is something that is definitely not right within this market. And when we see the reprints, I don't know when the official date of this reprint's happening. We hopefully will see these prices come back down a little bit. And then if you are looking for them extra singles for the sets, then obviously you can buy them there. Even when we look at the free birds, this is a card that I'm definitely going to have on my list. We got it all the way down to 30, and now we're kind of back up at 40, which is where the original price was a year ago, which makes sense. Like there's no crazy amount of increase, but realistically, we should still be seeing it $10 cheaper than what we are originally now. And if you can keep going through the same pattern, we go all through the special arts. Obviously the normal EXs and stuff won't really change, but when we're looking at something like Pikachu, again, I don't know if it's a glitch in the system, but we're getting it all the way up at 23 here. Like the average normally was kind of coming in below that, if anything. Like we was hitting at a really low at one point, coming in at $15. Like that's just a crazy amount to then be nearly doubled that price within the space of what, half a year from May, give or take. So I would definitely be looking at the market, and it's why I always say when you're looking at specific special arts, you're looking at like kind of like the out of stock cards, anything that you're trying to find either off TCG players, you've definitely got to do your homework on any reprints, on anything that's coming out that may alter the price a little bit, and just hype in general. We might see a big sell-off, which might mean that people are selling more. It could just be that some people are assuming that the price is going up in some fashion. So I would suggest always doing your research when buying cards of a value that are kind of above the $20, $30, $40, because they do fluctuate in price so much. There is so many ups and downs when it comes to pricing. When it comes to like the almost like the free dollars, like this one for me is probably going to be absolutely teared to shreds. Like this Dragonair Mint, oh, it's Japanese, that's why. I was going to say there's no way that it's coming in at 4 if the actual price, like even a Dragonair, you're looking at $23. Like this was down at a crazy low. Like it was coming in at what, 13? There's no reason for it to be $10 up in the space of like half a year. There's no real extra pull weight on that. But when we go to like something that is like $4 or something like that, if we look at the market price and kind of find something a little bit lower, you'll probably find some special arts still. I was going to say, I think we've gone too far there. If we go down, this one should have, there we go. So if we're looking at something like, that's the metal card. Say we go for Bills Transfer, very easy one to get. It's like a £2 card, give or take. Even that, we're still seeing a slight increase, but realistically, it's not enough to worry about. Like if we're seeing it at 5 or 4, for instance, it's so up and down on this market. Like yes, you could always get it at its low point of $2, but realistically, an extra dollar isn't crazy for like this sort of card. When we're looking at a 20, 30, 40, 50 pound card, you're looking at an extra tenner every card, an extra 20 in some cases. You look at the Charizard, realistically from a month ago, people are paying an extra $80 to $90 per card. Like that is absolutely crazy to think that pricing is absolutely there. So I would suggest definitely holding on that set for right now. If that is where the prices are going to lie, it could be that next week they go back down again. Maybe not everybody's heard that the reprint is fully confirmed, but it most definitely is. And we should start to see a lot of these prices going. Like we got 25 bundles. It's 1,100. What's a single bundle worth now? We've got 52. Like they definitely weren't that when they first came out. They were looking at like what, 20 to 25 each. So that already, like, it's I get it, because obviously it's the only way that we get them other than paying for the ETBs. That's the only way that you could have really got them, and even that is coming in at $90. But we saw this with the Japanese 151. You can see the massive price jump there. Like that's just in the space of a year going up from what, 50 to 90 is crazy. Like that's a great increase, almost what, double your investment there. If you bought 1,000 of these, 100 of these, whatever, you've literally doubled what you've got in almost less than a year. That is pretty crazy. But if we go to 151 Japan, what you'll be able to see, hopefully, I don't know what it's called. If we go to Pokemon 151, will it give me everything? I don't think it will. I can't even remember how you would call the set, to be honest. So this is kind of what we're looking at here, when obviously you're looking at the Japanese box, kind of coming in now like a year ago, $199 per booster box. It's like 30 packs, 5 cards each. Then we kind of saw where the reprint happened. It went from the highest at 217 all the way down to 64. And now obviously the reprint's finished. You can slightly see where these kind of boxes are going back up again. So it'll be pretty much the same sort of theory for 151 for English. You'll see the highest price going, and then it will drop down dramatically, to be fair. Like it's over half of kind of what you've got, because it was almost a sought after, and then now it's slowly going up again. And it will happen always for 151. Anything that's nostalgic like that. We look at something like Evolutions. That one again did the exact same when it comes to it. Like the pricing on them is just crazy. Like we're looking at $9.50 per box. Now obviously it's been out for quite some time, so when you see it going up like this, it's jumped up in the year alone from 786 all the way up to 850 as the average price. That's a huge set. It's obviously a 20th anniversary, so it's always something that you know is always worth having a look at a minimum. But I just wanted to make sure that you are looking at this and thinking, I don't need to go and buy everything straight away, because if we've got the reprint, which is definitely coming, it's most definitely going to help with a lot of them pricing, meaning you can either get in on the lowest point or you could hold some stuff ready for the future of it.